In October, California Assembly Speaker Robert Rivas announced the formation of a bipartisan select committee with the goal of identifying policy solutions to address the rising retail theft. Well, today, that committee held its first hearing in the state capitol.
Retail crime is an emotional issue for many of our constituents. Business owners fear for their livelihoods, workers fear for their well-being, and members of the public worry that it may no longer be safe or convenient to frequent their neighborhood stores.
All right, you saw him there, State Assemblymember Rick Chavez Zbur. He chairs this select committee on retail theft. His district, by the way, includes Hollywood, and he joins me now from Sacramento. I know you've had a long day, Assemblymember. Thank you for being with me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's just start with the big takeaways from this hearing, because I watched a lot of it. It was hours long. I want to hear your big takeaways.
Well, you know, we brought the experts together, then had a host of perspectives. I think my takeaways are that it's a very complicated issue, but that it's something that we know there's urgency to solve. We know that that the problem is one that affects consumers who have to wait by locked store shelves to buy shampoo and baby formula. It's hurting our workers when stores are closing because of high rates of retail theft. It hurts our retailers where they have thin profit margins and they're seeing increasing amounts of theft. And it's bad for business here. So it's something that the speaker has asked us to act with urgency on. And we heard a host of perspectives today. I think some of the things that were my big takeaways are that some of the statistics that we have been hearing about were surprising in that a lot of folks have focused on Prop 47 as being one of the things that we need to look at, and we do need to look at Prop 47. But the thing that folks focus on is the line between misdemeanors and felonies and that dollar limit, which is $950. And one of the things we learned is that California has one of the lower felony levels of all the states. Texas, for example, that felony level is $2,500. So I don't think that that is the reason why we have higher rates of retail theft. There's a whole host of things that I think we need to look at. The main thing is that in many cases, people are not being apprehended and facing consequences when they're going into stores and stealing merchandise.
Because Prop 47 doesn't say that you can't prosecute. So in other words, if you steal less than $950, you can't be charged with a misdemeanor. It doesn't say that you don't get prosecuted. It's just that these prosecutions aren't necessarily happening. So it sounds like you're saying that Prop 47 ultimately is not to blame and it's really getting a bad rap. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think there are some things that, there are some things about Prop 47 that may need to be changed. I think the jury's still open on that. The perspective that I have, and I think that most of the members of the committee have, is that we need to figure out what the root causes of this are. And if the cause is that our laws are not strong enough, we need to sort of fix those. Some laws we can fix by going back to the legislature. Others may require us going back to the voters. But the main thing that people point to is the fact that our felony level is at $950. That, to me, does not seem to be the real reason why retail crime is going up. To me, it seems that we actually have lack of enforcement in many jurisdictions for these low-level retail thefts.
We have less than a minute, unfortunately. I know we have a lot still to talk about because this topic warrants it. But what's the solution moving forward? What's next for this committee, especially as people are heading out to the stores and holiday shopping and might be deterred to do so because they're afraid of witnessing a smash and grab?
Well, we're going to have two more sets of hearings, one in the Los Angeles area and one in San Francisco. We're going to be bringing in local experts and people on the ground with recommendations. We did have a number of good recommendations from criminal justice reform advocates, from the retailers themselves, and from other from our law enforcement partners today. We're going to be looking at all of those things and making recommendations to the Speaker and the legislature early this year. One of the members of the committee is our new chair of our Public Safety Committee, and so we're going to be working hand in hand to find solutions to this issue.
Yeah, it's a complex one, that's for sure. Well, again, thanks. I know you've had a long day, as I said. Thanks so much for being with me tonight, Assemblyman Rick Chavez Zbur. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we'll follow up.